Alrighty. Hello, Tag Bro. My name is Shmungashma, and
Malini.
welcome. Shut the fuck up, Beatty. God damn it. I hate you so much. Oh,
Good start.
by the way, is everybody drunk? Because this is a drunk podcast.
Yes.
Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be
Oh, of
drinking.
course.
Alright, so anyway, if you're watching, welcome to the MLTP playoff preview podcast. Basically, it's the PPP of MLTP.
Say that 5 times fast.
So, like I said before, my name's Ash, and I'm joined by a few lovely faces. First of all, we've got our resident trash talker, BigMeaty.
Hey guys.
We've got our Eastern analyst, honeybear,
Hello.
and TheBob18.
Yo.
We've got our Western analysts, coys,
What's up, everybody?
and Swergonomics.
Skadoosh.
And of course, our lovely streamer is, as always, Mr. Fruitsy.
Thanks, Fritzy.
Hey guys.
Crickets.
Alrighty. So since work doesn't have a lot of time, we're gonna get right into the Western Conference previews for the first round of the playoffs, aka the Tangential 12. So, looks like the first matchup is going to be the 3 seed versus the 6 seed. So that's going to be Bella Flag and the Flagtones versus the Semi-Pro Bots.
Or is it Destruction of Babylon? I'm not sure anymore.
Which
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to drink a little bit more.
In all seriousness, Coys, I'm going to start that off with you and Swerg.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Ash.
I was just going to say, let's take a look at some of the rosters of both the teams. Talk about some of the standouts in the season. I would say that would be the first thing.
Alrighty. I think Bella Flag has a really strong lineup, just top to bottom. Ballzilla, there's been some controversy there, but he is back, and he was on my minors team last year, and I've for the last 2 seasons, actually, not including this one, and the whole time I thought he was worthy of playing majors, and I still think that. So I think he's definitely a stud. Not Sunball's played majors before. He's a stud. Randy was on my team last year too, and he's they just have a lot of maybe majors quality players on their team. They've got a really studly lineup.
Yeah, from the ones you already mentioned, both Ballzilla and Randy both really impressed me week 9. I was watching back their stuff, and just Randy seemed to have really, really good map awareness on thinking with portals and was just making last-minute stops and just getting to the right places, which on a map that's not really that intuitive. And of course, they're going up on thinking with portals next, so that and Ballzilla just looked like a monster with and without the flag.
Something really interesting to note is Bella Flag has used all of their players throughout the season. Bali, I know for a fact that Bali's only going to play 4 or 5. Which 4 or 5 do you think he's going to play? Do you think there are going to be problems on his team because of that?
No. They're not going to have problems because of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with
people will understand.
Well, in that case, who do you think is going to get the start for his team?
Well, is LeBron eligible?
Yes.
LeBron is eligible.
Okay, because I know he played 40 minutes of majors this week.
He's one of their standout rookies. I mean, he's one of the standout rookies in all of minors, and he might be aggressive to a fault, but he might complement playing with Ludicrous pretty well.
Yeah. It's tough to say what their lineup will be because, like I said, they're a really deep team, a really talented team. If it were me, I would put Randy in there, even though LeBron's been great, Ludicrous has been great, but Randy can just hold forever. I would put him in there. I don't know if he'll end up there, but I would. And depending on whether or not Ballzilla is rusty, I think you see E and not Sunball. But if Ballzilla is top form, in top form, then I think he can start for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. On offense, I mean, whoever earns it in practice gets the spot. But, just what I've seen Randy do on thinking with portals already is impressive, and I'd rather see him start.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see a map specific. I could see any of these guys playing just depending on who's better at what map.
That's a good point.
Alrighty, well, let's kick it over to the semi-pro bots. Who are some standout players on that team, and how have they done this season?
Well, he hasn't been with them for much of this season, but Walrus should be available to be playing some minors defense with them now. He only got 1 week to build up chemistry so far, but he won the Mooper Ball last year, as we all know, and got some a lot of majors minutes this season. But if he's dropping down to minors, he's someone to keep an eye on defense for them. A really, really quality player.
Definitely. I think he's one of those that if you've played with him, you know what Swerg's saying. He's kind of like a mini Ibis for me, or Ibis. Not always the most talkative, but just so skilled and like rock solid, basically.
BDL is terrifying always to play against on offense. So I mean, those are the two big names, and then of course Kanye and Boogie will probably could round out the defensive lineup. And then in terms of offensive partner for BDL, it's not as the choices aren't as strong after him, but I guess we could see Teddy in there or Ukilum, but he's probably going to be locked up due to majors minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, who would you expect to be alongside him, Coys?
I'm not sure of the eligibility. If Ukilum's eligible, I'd put him there. I played majors against him this week on Thinking with Portals, and he seemed, like he had a good idea of what to do. But Teddy also, I was watching our minors game against them, and Teddy's a really, really smart player, and I think that could be very useful for Thinking with Portals.
Well, he's a bear, so,
Get your bear bias out of here, please, honey.
Let's take a look at the last time these teams played each other. It was back in week 2. It was on Velocity and somebody help me out here.
Wormy.
Wormy. Thank you. Semi-pro bots took game 1 and Bella Flag took game 2 for an even split. They even scored or tied in aggregate. Do you think this has any bearing whatsoever on the game?
No.
I don't know. I mean, my first instinct is to just throw out those results because Thinking with Portals is such a unique map. But if I had to compare those maps, I'd say Velocity is much more similar, and it's just end-to-end nature.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Wormy would be more similar to Thinking with Portals due to its randomness.
That's true. They both have
hectic.
elements. But Velocity's become so chasey now that people seem to have figured it out on offense that I think that's pretty and it's hard to reset on. And I think that's pretty similar. Wormy's a little easier to get a reset on, although it is quite random too. But as far as the results go, I would say they probably don't mean much. Different maps. Swerg,
Different
like
players.
you said, Thinking with Portals is different. And like just coming from the standpoint of my own minors team, we're a completely different team now. From the first, 3-4 weeks of the season. And I would assume it's the same way for most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think we should take a look at the Thinking with Portals results from the regular season. The semi-pro bots have actually lost both games of Thinking with Portals. One to Balls of Wrath this past week, and then one to the Cap Holes in week 8.
Ooh,
Meanwhile,
That's not a very scary team.
Meanwhile, Bella Flag has they beat the Childhood Spheros and they tied with the Little Merballs. So
yeah, I think that's definitely edge to Bella Flag. No disrespect to the Cap Holes, but I think they have 2 wins on the season, and I'll admit one of them's against Balls of Wrath, my team.
Yeah, we tied
I'll be
it,
honest
so.
with you, but that again, recent results versus that was in the first week, same map. If you're playing a team that's 2-14, 2-14-2 rather, it's maybe they're good at Thinking with Portals and it's an anomaly, but if you lose both and that's one of them, it's not looking great.
Insider information for Thinking with Portals: BDL is currently refusing to play on Thinking with Portals. Some people think it's a cover-up just because the other people on the team are better at it, but BDL is not willing to play Thinking with Portals. Whether or not that turns around, I don't know, but I give him a lot of flack for that. I think that's immature and bullshit. I look down on him for it, and I'll say it here. But yeah.
Magikarp and Alvin on my team have both stated a very deep hatred for it. Every time we play Thinking with Portals, Magikarp bitches at me. But that being said, he doesn't refuse to play it, and they're both actually quite good at it. So I think you just gotta man up and go for it. If you're not good, you're not good, but you gotta give it a shot.
Well, if BDL refuses to play, how do you think that's going to have an impact on the game?
Well, Timeboy will be playing, and he's had a pretty good end of the season. He's come up and revitalized the team that didn't have much gusto in it before he joined. So I do think Timeboy is capable of putting in a good shift, but I think they've he refused to play week 9 too, so it's they're not like, it's not new news, so it's not gonna like shock them, but he's a strong player, and I think if he just put the effort in, he could do well.
All right, well, let's get to an official prediction. So I want to hear predictions from both of you guys. I'll have one myself. So
I'll have one myself too.
Me too.
I'm gonna go out and say that the Flagtones win game 1 comfortably, and game 2 will be closer, but they're gonna still take care of business. They're gonna sweep.
I think it'll go to a third game, but I'm definitely gonna say Bell Flag. I think if LeBron's coming back, then they're gonna be even stronger. And I was pretty impressed by their map awareness and just play on thinking with portals from what I saw. So I'd definitely say them too.
Yeah. My majors team scrimmed both Black Prone and Bell in the Flagtone last night on Think with Portals, and both of them kicked our ass. So I'll have to go with the Bell Flagtone sweep by a bit.
Your team is pretty bad, Bob. Let's be honest.
Please.
I thought BigMeaty's trash talker.
Meaty's not doing his job, so we got to do it for him.
Yeah.
True. Sorry.
So yeah,
Bob's team sucks. Sorry.
Yeah.
So here's my thing on Bella Flag. Their defense really isn't that great. Obviously, Ballzilla coming in bolsters it a lot, but they've been very inconsistent throughout the season. On a map like Thinking with Portals, that's not as big of a deal, and that's why I think Bella Flag is going to get an easy sweep.
Yeah, they just have overall a much more rounded out talent between their team. Like, there's a lot of good players on semi-pro bots, which makes me want to pick them. Like, I like a lot of their players.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But I just think the Bella Flag team, honestly, is going to be too prepared, and they have enough talent together where I think that they're going to handle themselves.
Yeah, I think the experience, the talent, is just too much.
All right, well, why don't we go to our second game of the week? It's going to be the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Balls of Wrath versus the Populace. So now we have some extra biased commentary since we have a Balls of Wrath member in the house.
Perhaps.
There's a little bias and a little inside information.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, though. I'll let Swerg start it off, though.
Balls of Wrath definitely have improved as the season's gone on and look a lot stronger now than they did at the beginning. I don't think TAC Pro has affected anything, but they've picked up a player or two, and Kev Bear, previously known as Asa, is just a monster on defense. He's really, really high on the boards and is always intimidating to play against.
I noticed that he didn't play like the last 2 weeks or something. What happened?
2 weeks ago he was just busy, happens. And then this week, I didn't play him on Thinking with Portals. I just preferred a different lineup, and then he did play Smart last week.
Oh, okay.
Or this week, just recently.
I didn't notice because I wrecked him in returns.
That's why. No, he was complaining that he missed a couple weeks ago because you passed him.
Sorry to cut you off, Sorg. You can continue.
It's fine. But looking at results, the Populists lost to a much weaker side in the Orzabal, 6-3 on Thinking with Portals. Don't know if they were playing the strongest lineup or not, but it's not a great sign going into a couple big games on Thinking with Portals.
Looks like they lost to Little Merballs too. By a pretty decently large margin, 4 caps.
Yeah, so obviously they're struggling on the map. They've got a lot of quality players, in terms of ones that jump out to me. I'd say, probably Mick Ride is a really, really scary guy on offense, coming from all the way from Australia, from OLTP. But, other names that really jump out to me on their lineup and are capable of making a difference. How about, I don't know, Coys, what are you looking at there?
One thing that popped out to me in kind of checking up on how they did the last 2 weeks is they played really, really different lineups on Thinking with Portals. And I don't know if that was like a measure of availability or if they're trying to figure out what works. So I don't know what to expect. I think I definitely agree with MC Ride. He was someone I was really high on coming into the season and wanted to draft. I thought I could get a steal since I was hoping no one else knew he would be here all season.
Fun
But
fact,
didn't
fun
work
fact
out.
about MC Ride actually. Fez was looking to draft him, and he thought he had him in the bag so much that he had already invited him to be a moderator of the Rectiles before the snake draft even started.
That's
So-
fantastic.
So I have a burning question. Is it Mick Ride or MC Ride? I've heard it pronounced a million different ways.
I don't know.
I
I would
don't
call him
know, to
MC.
be honest. I think I would say MC, but I have no actual knowledge of that. So
Okay.
If it was a Mick Riot, then there would be no space,
Because-
right?
Because I just heard Swerg pronounce it Mick, and I heard you say MC, so I wasn't sure.
yeah, I have no idea.
That was some good trash talk.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm saving
So
it for the
bad you
East.
can't even
conference
pronounce
that
your
matters.
name. Fucking S-Bowl. Get out of here.
But yeah. Anyway, Mick Ride is a hold monster, and on Thinking with Portals, he should be able to rack up a lot of hold. You know, it's not too hard to keep the chain going. But I don't know. I think Balls of Wrath have a little bit of momentum and have been playing well on Thinking
Mhm.
with Portals. So I'm definitely leaning towards them, though I couldn't give an official prediction yet. I'd rather be convinced otherwise.
Coys, why don't you circle jerk about how good your team is real quick?
All right, I'm going to take one step back because I should mention Donuts. He had some killer stats last week on Thinking with Portals, like 20 returns per half or something like that. So I do want to mention him as someone who could definitely stand out. But I will move on to circle jerking my team now. Oh,
That's
MC
MC.
Ryan just
There you go.
messaged the channel and said
MC.
it's MC,
Love
like
it.
the master of ceremonies right there.
Well, McRide it is then.
Yeah, we will not respect your wishes, MC Ride. Sorry, Mick Ride. Okay, yeah. So for my team, we are obviously the best team the world has ever seen. But I mean, it's just I could talk for probably 5 minutes about each and every one of my players in depth. So I'll try to keep it short. We have just an insanely deep lineup. I'm comfortable with any one of our players playing at any time on any map, pretty much. There are, a few exceptions, but that's not the rule. And I think we are 2-0 on Thinking with Portals, 4-0 as a franchise, and I think we're looking to continue that and hopefully get it done. I don't know.
So you're the minors captain, right?
I am.
So you obviously get to pick the lineups.
I do.
So you want to tell us who you're going to start?
I'm gonna bust out my tried and true football manager strategy, which is where I do not divulge any information in pre-match press conferences.
That's
Coys.
bullshit. I don't want you as an analyst.
I have a
least-
question.
I'll give you one.
Please say TAC Pro.
TAC Pro has played 0 minutes for us this season.
Wrecked.
Circumstances. But I'm gonna tell you, Teal is a goddamn savant at this map. He is a stud. He gets 20 returns every scrim. I've checked him for bots. I've got no proof, but I'm suspicious. No, I'm just kidding. But he's great at this map.
How well does he hold button?
Yeah, pretty well. That's pretty key.
I assume they should play you on this map because there is no buttons.
Yeah.
So
and
you won't have
yeah.
an opportunity to
Ash,
fuck
didn't
up.
we learn this morning that you shouldn't make jokes, that they don't work out well for you?
Ooh.
Oh.
Of course, I have a
Alright.
serious question. Who's eligible for your minors team?
I'll tell you who's not eligible: Spiller, Alvin, myself, and Bad. So
Okay.
Wayne is eligible. It's a matter of 20 minutes, I think, between Wayne and Bad, but Wayne is eligible.
Okay.
I think this is based on. Is it the last 3 weeks or the whole season? Did we ever decide on that? I think
Last
it's
3-week
weeks.
average.
It's
okay. I
last 3
think it's
weeks.
Wayne either way. But it's close both ways. But I'm pretty sure it's Wayne either way. Who is eligible? And then obviously everyone else that's not myself, Alvin, or Spiller.
Yep.
Since you don't have to use your registered name, what's the probability that Wayne is going to play as Wayneezus?
Teal actually had the idea today to just all play as Winniezus. So we might bust that one out because you
Is that
can't
'cause you're the
punish us
best?
anymore. Yeah, no. Ash sent us a threatening mod mail after Wayne played as Winniezus once, threatening to dock us points if it happened again. So
See,
we've been very
I
careful
give
about
warnings, guys. I actually do.
that. Yeah, he does give warnings.
That's how you know. Okay,
Shut up,
I'm gonna
Ash
stop.
Bellini.
I'm gonna stop now. Why don't we get to the prediction?
Yeah. I'll get my
Everybody-
prediction out of the way because everyone knows what's coming. I think we're going to take it. I think they'll be close. I think they're going to give us a fight because they're a really good team. But I think we're going to be well prepared and we're going to continue our undefeated franchise record, I'm thinking, with Portals.
Swerve?
As much as it pains me to pump up his ego, I think that's the right result. Again, I'm not going to say it's a sweep. I do think that they'll pick up a game, the Populace that is, but I think it'll be Balls of Wrath, and then presuming semi-pro bots get knocked out, we'll be seeing them in the equidistant 8. Us being Lava Monsters, that is.
What about some of our East Coasters? Got any opinions?
Looks like the Balls of Wrath are pretty solid on thinking with Portals, and I just don't think the Populace really have the talent. I mean, they have a lot of, like MC Ride is definitely capable of maybe carrying them on offense to lead them back, but I really like the combinations the Balls of Wrath have in terms of players, and then they're thinking with Portal's prowess.
I'm going to be that one guy that doesn't pick the Balls of Wrath.
Fuck you, Mom.
I'm never being against everybody else, like in terms of picking the opposite team and being right a couple times. So, but
Yeah, remember when you made that Eastern preview thread and got every single one wrong? That was
every
fun.
single one right. you mean.
No, every single one. You got every single one wrong.
Oh,
It
I
was
was just
really
thinking
funny.
back of my first podcast when I got every single one right.
Bob, weren't
Sorry.
you the one
Whatever.
mid-season that predicted us to go to the Mooper Ball? This is
No,
some
that was
grade
me.
A
That was
flip-flopping right
me.
here. Was it? Okay.
That was Ash. Yeah.
I was thinking Bob had our backs, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I
Nah.
think Donuts, Ricochet, No Kill 'em are going to kill it on defense.
I'm thinking with
Ricochet's
Portals-
Are they busting out 3D strats? Is that what I'm hearing here?
Maybe.
messing.
I don't know.
See, the thing I'm thinking with Portals is I've seen strategies where teams play 3 standard offenders work, but 3 standard defenders is a lot worse of an idea because you don't have people who can carry the flag, and that's what's really important on this map, is
Honeybear,
knowing how you
I
can
can
move
carry
your
the
ball.
flag better than you can. We all know
I'm
this.
thinking with Portals, it's very different. It's very different. You don't have your same ball control. You're not juking people out normally, and having people that know how to hold the flag is what really wins games, I think, on that map.
And no problem,
Well said.
MC Ride. I take tag coins, by the way, after the stream. Just beat me in my channel.
Bucks here.
For those of you that don't know, MC Rad was saying thank you to the Bob18 because Bob18 is a suck up, as we all know.
Please.
Sure.
But anyway,
He knew MC Rod was watching because he messaged earlier, so he was like, "Oh, I know what to do here."
Okay.
so as you all know, I picked the Balls of Wrath to go to the Super Bowl in the midseason because they're fucking amazing.
Damn right.
And the pickup of Tag Pro just goes to show how even more amazing they are. So yeah, they're gonna destroy. It's not even gonna be close. It's gonna be one of those 20 to 5 blowout games. It's gonna be really fun. I'm just kidding. It's not gonna be fun at all. It's just gonna be a slaughter. Balls of Wrath, they're going pretty far. Let me just say that.
I'm gonna butt in real quick to make sure that I'm not the one saying this. Don't call me by. This is Ash. This is all him. I'm not. This isn't me. This isn't me. This is all Ash. So don't. Team, I don't think you're
Coys, I
that good,
expect
guys.
my payment in the mail.
Just because Ash has faith in you doesn't mean I have faith in you, team. Just kidding. You guys are the best. Don't get too cocky though.
You heard it here, folks. Coys has no confidence in his minor league team.
I got to keep them grounded. They
I know.
know it's tough love.
I'm confident in the Sphere lineup, even though it's not as strong as the Central lineup. I still have faith.
Yeah, I mean we have
I
three. Yeah,
I
we have
think-
3 straight Sphere players who are Sphere players
Yeah.
predominantly, and then we have plenty who can also play Sphere just fine. We don't have a lot of the issues that some Central players have had with Sphere. Most of us are good with that.
Mhm.
And
So that's good.
I honestly think, though, if we're going to see a team really pull through these playoffs from Centra, it's probably the Balls of Wrath.
Good thing Swerve's
Oh
not
yeah,
here
good, I was
anymore.
gonna say, good thing Swerg's not here.
Just because, I mean, if we're not going to say, the best teams are going to win, automatically because they've played better during the season, probably the Balls of Wrath from Centra is going to be, the one pick that could easily get to the semifinals. Not easily, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I would say they have the best talent combined between their team out of all the lower seeded teams. Anyway,
I'm not
All
going to
right.
disagree with that statement. So
I'd still pick Lava Monsters over them personally.
no, but they're the number one seed. My point is looking at the bottom seeds.
dark horses and whatnot.
He's factoring out the larger seeds right now.
Shall we talk about the good seeds?
Yeah, we should talk about the good conference.
That's not what Honey said. He said the good seeds, mister.
The good seeds.
He's
The
got-
little
All right,
marbles
well,
and lava
unfortunately,
monsters.
we had to say goodbye to our lovely Swerg Rip, but we'll talk a little bit about the 1 and 2 seed. So yeah, lava monsters, they're pretty good. They won what, 10 games, 11 games, 11 games. Top of the conference.
But they have no offense.
Ouch.
What?
Ouch.
I will say on Swerg's behalf, since he's not here, that Sweep is pretty damn solid, and he's back as of this week. I think he was in Australia or something. Not sure what the deal is, but
What
he
have
was
they
gone
been
for a
playing,
few
Kurt
weeks.
and Carp?
Cart moved up to majors.
Oh yeah, 'cause of
in
Copernicus.
favor, yeah, because of Cap. I
Plus-
think that was a move to preserve what they feel is their strongest minors lineup. They kind of skipped over Curry and went straight to Carp. And I could be wrong on that, but that's my understanding.
Yeah, the thing that stands out to me about Lava Monsters is their depth on defense. I mean, they have Tizza, who's an experienced majors player. They have Swerg. They have Simon, who's put up impressive numbers. And even Berg's pretty solid, so I think they'll be tough to cap on at the very least.
I want to
Yeah.
know what happened to D's nuts, because he's had the KD record for quite a while now, but I don't think he's played any minutes.
But
Oh, really?
that's yeah.
What?
You know
Red
what?
did
He's
not
not
know.
a chick. Yeah.
Didn't
Come on,
know.
Ash.
Yeah,
You said
dude,
Get your
that's
shit
all.
together.
I don't. Sorry.
I know. I'll give it. D's nuts. Not exactly the most feminine name, but there you go.
Well then. All right.
So we're all in agreement. Obviously they performed, incredibly well during the season, but maybe we're not as high on them as they might seem. They
They
should
have
be.
no offense.
I mean, as long as their defense can keep the flag in base long enough, I mean, any offense can grab and cap. It's just a matter of keeping the flag in base. That makes a difference.
I mean, offense wins this game. I mean, you win by having competent offenses. Like,
Yeah.
I've talked to Mandius about this all the time. You have people who can get the flag out of the base. That's how you win. And maybe do they have enough of that?
I mean, they have the lowest caps forced of the top 6 teams in the West, and they're number 1. I mean, their defense is stellar, obviously, but yeah, I have to agree. Offense on portals, you're gonna have a tough time.
Well, they're not going to be
They're
playing
lucky.
portals.
I think the
Yeah.
bye plays to their advantage big
Or,
time,
sorry.
especially with
Smirk
Sweep
and
being gone
Wormy.
for a while.
Yeah, they got favorable defensive matchups, I would say.
Although, yeah, I would say they're pretty defensive, but honestly, I'd rather have a good defense on a more offensive map than if that makes sense. Because a
No, yeah, that makes
defensive
sense.
map, it's a lot easier to keep the flag in base, so that can kind of cover up for some issues you might
Yeah.
have on D. So a map like Smirk might be tough if they do have a lack of offense, which I don't know if I agree with that so much. It's obviously their weakness, but that's just because the D is really damn good.
Well, I mean, I've been watching Smirk games like all week, and if you don't have an offense that understands how to grab and get out of base on that map, you're done. You're not going to generate offense.
Definitely.
I saw it. It's tough when I watching my novice league team. It's very tough to teach that, and
Honeybear
you have
only
to-
watches novice because he's
Shut
not
up.
in. Meaty, I need you for these things. Don't make me do this on my own. God, wake up.
I think so. I do think Curry is definitely capable of doing that. I just don't know who that other person is for them because you
And-
need a tandem.
In honor of tradition, can we all agree Curry's a dick again?
Yes,
Well,
Curry's
yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, Curry's a dick. That's all we have to really say.
Yep.
Here,
Fuck
I'll give
Curry.
you a fun fact that I feel like the world should know. The other day, Curry told me that I am the one defender he can never juke. So I just wanted everyone to know that I am better than Curry in every way.
Curry's a dick.
I mean, that's not saying much.
That's all we gotta say. Curry's a dick.
He said I'm the one that always gets him, and I want everyone to know that. So.
Well,
but it's Curry.
You're
like,
bad.
That's like being the principal of a homeschool, coys.
It's true, but I still felt like I should share that Curry admitted that to me. Because he's a little embarrassed of it. When I tell other people, he gets mad, and everyone says, "Why the fuck would you tell him that?" And that's a good question. Why would you tell me that?
Maybe it's a mind game. Maybe he's trying to mind fuck you.
Maybe.
All right, let's talk about little Merballs quick.
Okay, I'm gonna start off because I still think, going back to my prediction, that they're gonna win the Mooper Ball. I'm convinced they will. I think their talent and their chemistry between their players is overwhelming for teams. If you've looked at some of the games they've won recently, I just think, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my prediction. I think they're gonna handle Bella Flag, and then they're gonna handle whoever makes the semifinals, and they're gonna win the Mooper Ball. Still, I'm convinced.
All right. So you said that their talent is overwhelming, but you forgot to add their talent is overwhelming in the West.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. I don't think that they can beat any of the top 4 Eastern teams. Personally, I
think you're wrong.
I do believe they'll make the Mooper Ball. Don't get me wrong, but I believe whatever team makes it out of the East can defeat them.
I don't think you're right, but I think it's unfair to, at this point, just to say they're West, that they can't win the Mooper Ball. Like, let's have some professionalism.
I think the issue I have with that is that people shit on the West in majors because it's so top heavy. And the minors for the East has that exact problem, but yet it's still the West that's shitty now. So I think there's a bit of you're not really looking at the picture there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so top heavy, blah, blah, blah. Like, literally.
Well, I mean, and the fact that we don't know anything, that East team just hasn't played a West team yet. So
for sure, I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I'm just saying I think it's not necessarily a fair assumption because.
Well, I've played Merballs a few times in scrims, so I can assess them personally, but I can't assess any other teams. Yeah.
The hype for their team is real. I've hung out with a lot of their players. I know them. Cape has a schemer, and he's gonna scheme. He's not gonna play people who don't deserve to play on a certain map. He's gonna play the best people, and they'll figure that out. And I think they'll be prepared no matter what.
Yeah, I always like the OO offense. Okay, then an O snap. Yeah. And of course BG is pretty good.
Yeah,
too.
man,
I'll play all the
BG.
time.
Wait, who?
BG.
I'm gonna
fucking Penguin. We do it our own way.
Yeah, the Merballs, like Honey said, they're pretty damn good. They've got some serious chemistry. They're like the minor league tiers of last season. It's a lot of players I didn't really know much about coming into the season. To be honest with you, I knew BG really well. I mean, everyone knows Ginseng, but other than that, I didn't really know any of these guys. But they're definitely impressed.
Ginseng got Ginseng got traded for Rambo.
Ash still hasn't
Oh
updated
shit,
the
you're right.
minors
Well,
thing,
Yeah.
Rambo.
I've been
I forgot.
real
I
slacking.
forgot.
My bad.
Ash
If Ash wasn't such a slacker.
Sorry,
Ash
man.
dropped the ball on that one.
He's too busy scheming for
Yo,
April
0 for
Fool's
2
jokes.
tonight.
Not
Ash's
Never
night. Mind.
It's not Ash's night tonight.
Yeah.
Another shot.
All right. Do we have any last minute things about the West?
They suck.
All right.
It's like some
Good one.
commentary there.
Cool.
So just to be clear, Destruction of Babylon is not in the playoffs.
Nope.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. Let's move to the East. We got 2 matchups, 4-5 and the 3-6. We'll start with the 3-6 because I don't need Meaty tooting his own horn just yet.
Okay.
So the first matchup is going to be the FS Ballers versus the Myth Boosters. FS Ballers are the 3 seed, Myth 6 seed. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be close, quite honestly. I think the FS Ballers are just gonna run the Myth Boosters down. It's not gonna be a close game.
Here's where I disagree with that. My team played them
Oh God.
2 weeks ago. And we
There we
completely destroyed the FS Ballers on portals. And I'd have to say that Myth Boosters gave us
Was
a little
Russia
bit more of a...
playing?
What happened?
I'm
Was
not
Russia
sure
playing?
if Russia or Milksteak were playing that week though, so
Milksteak was playing that week, and it's
Watch
pretty
out, we're
hard
gonna badass
by
over
an NLTP call-up BTW. But anyway, that's...
But you also
besides
beat the Myth Boosters.
actually Milksteak
Well,
played
no, but
Milksteak played 6 minutes.
no, that's not. He played 40 minutes. He played the entire night.
According
Anyway.
to the stats, he only played 6 minutes, is what I'm
Stats are
saying.
wrong. Blame Ash. Because he
What do you
played
mean
the
the
whole
Alright,
stats are
night.
Ash,
wrong?
you're scrub.
But anyway, as I was saying, we played the FS Ballers. They got pooped on.
We
And
played 40 minutes.
okay, anyway, we played the Myth Boosters, and they gave us a little bit more of a hard time than the FS Ballers did. So I'm not going to say
What
that it's
lineup
going
are
to
we
be
looking at then?
Who started for whom? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so who was giving you trouble on Myth Boosters? Let's talk about them.
I mean, they weren't giving us trouble, but they gave us a little bit more competition than the FS Ballers did.
I'm not sure you can really draw too much of a difference between 10-2 and 8-2 as far as scorelines
Yeah.
go. They're both
Well,
pretty meaningless. Like that team.
I'm
got
just saying,
pretty
in my
well
opinion,
beaten.
I felt like the Myth Boosters played better on portals. So I wouldn't say that they're going to get blown out. That's all I'm saying.
The Myth
I
Boosters did beat the
think
small
it might
caps.
go to a third game.
They beat the small caps, which are the 5 seed, obviously, on Thing with Portals 6-5.
Well, I know Fly Mello's been talking about they strategize their lineup for Thing with Portals or whatever. So who are we talking about then, Meaty? Who played against you? I'm thinking.
It was Frange, Fly Mello, Hold My Balls. I forget who else. I was pretty drunk then. I don't remember, but I remember they had a few of their starters on there. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't see it being a blowout at all.
Well, you also have to take into consideration FS Ballers Rush is coming back down to minors. So
Yeah, that's true.
Russia and Milksteak were on a tear beginning of the season, and there's no reason to doubt they can't return to that.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
see it on
their
portals.
offense definitely suffered once Russia went up to majors. Like that was a good dual tandem. And then after that they had to rely on Milksteak being the workhorse when every other player only scored 4 caps in those 3 weeks. I think Russia is definitely a huge part of the team.
Yeah, that makes a big difference there.
And Franz has only scored 4 caps or 3 caps in the past 2 weeks that he's played, so that would be including all his games on Thinking with Portals. So I don't know. I think the FS Ballers has still got it. Stalin, even though he doesn't have a knack for drafting a majors team, he drafts a pretty decent minors team from season to season.
They'll be fine. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think they'll be comfortable this week, but you never know.
So are we doing predictions now?
I think we already did.
Well, I'm saying FS Ballers sweep.
Yep.
I think they'll get the Foci 4 like they usually do, and they'll lose in the Foci 4 like they usually do. It's just because the way it is.
Good shot. Good shot.
Bob, I think you still got a little loyalty to your old team.
A little loyal, and I don't know, a little salt because
It's
we
because you
still
have no one
lost.
else to root for because you're
Salt.
out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I was going to root for the childhood Spheros, but they're not in the playoffs,
Oh,
so.
please root for my team. If you root for my team, I'll take away that down arrow on Board Game Arena.
We'll negotiate those terms later then.
Alright.
Well, I definitely think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think.
Boom.
But I can see the FS Ballers taking it, especially with Milksteak and Russia.
Yeah. I agree with Ash for
So-
once. It's gonna be a close one, but FS takes it.
So I'm
I'll agree with
predicting a 2-1 sweep. Meaty, are you predicting a 2-1 sweep?
A 2-1 sweep.
That was
Or
dumb.
a
That doesn't make
2-1
sense.
win? You know
Well,
what I mean.
a 2-1 win, FS Ballers.
Sorry. What's everybody
Sorry,
else's,
Flying
just to be
Hollow.
clear?
I'll say 2-1. I'm gonna admit I don't know a ton about the East, but it seems like FS Ballers is a better team, but maybe they have a map disadvantage, maybe. But I think they'll overcome it and it'll be close.
Honey?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with FS.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
I think a thing with their offense is how much their defense goes
Yeah.
underrated as well. I think they locked it down on defense. They have great depth there, so I think they'll be able to handle the myth boosters.
Thank you.
Shall we move on to the 4-5?
Yeah, let's move on to the 4-5.
Suppose so.
We have the small caps, more like small craps, versus Wow Such Please. Yay.
Well, like, on the small cast, we're gonna see Jamar, Ball Don't Lie, Bob Blah Blah, and Super Sans, I believe. That should be their lineup, and maybe VZ.
And then for Wow Such Shit, we're gonna see freaking Big Scrubby, Easy Money Shitter.
I think you like that.
And then we're gonna have Chokus. I can't make fun of Chokus. I mean, Chokus is awesome,
Chokus
and
is
awesome. And
Chokus.
Ballardy's had a really good season as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna play Ginseng now that he's an official Wow
We
Such.
are gonna have. Okay, we're gonna have.
Oh no, you're gonna start Wow Such, right? Yeah, you're gonna have Wow Such play minors.
We might have Wow Such as well. He's gonna be that guy, maybe.
That's actually hilarious.
That's awesome.
Why would he not play majors?
We'll see. It's still in the air.
I'm back.
I don't know.
What
Has
is
he
there,
played
Sonny?
more total
God.
minutes? I don't know.
He's
I'm not
eligible,
sure.
I think, because he didn't
He's
play.
eligible right
Yeah,
now.
he's eligible. As long as he doesn't play in the playoffs, I think he's eligible. So,
How does playoffs eligibility work once you get into it? Does it still do a rolling 3-week thing?
so here's the deal. It's gonna be the same as the regular season, but there's no 20-minute rule. So, like, you can play all 40 minutes of majors, and if you're still under the 3-week thing, like if you're still like fifth, you can play You can play all 40 minutes of minors. That's the only change.
And if you, never mind, that doesn't make any sense.
See, that just makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
Why? It's the same as the regular season, but no 20-minute rule. It's the same thing. I don't understand what the problem is here.
There's no problem.
I was gonna ask a question, but I realized it was dumb, so I stopped myself. I got you though.
So did we
Maybe
talk
we
about the
should,
matchup?
Yeah, well, Honeybear, you can provide some input.
Well, I honestly think Wow Such Miners is one of the sleeper teams in the East. I think they're starting to peak at the right time. The combination of Chuggles, Chokas, and Ballardy on defense has been pretty solid recently. They're really coming together. And
Astounding.
Big Scrubby and I'm not really sure. I think your weakness right now is offense. I don't think Slide's what he used to be, and CB13 is really unknown in the community and hasn't really shown up recently. So it's really going to be on Big Scrubby to.
That's the thing, though. If they play Wow Such, then they're fine. Like,
Can Wow Such play?
Wow Such
Miners,
can
then?
play.
He can play.
just
Will
whenever-
he?
Probably.
Wow.
I wouldn't put it past Wow Such to play.
And so Real Duck would play majors with Deadman.
Yep.
Yep.
Huh.
The problem is this team is lacking in majors quality talent. At least on the
Wait,
offense.
what?
Well, I mean, if Wow Such
What?
plays GG, they're gonna win Thinking with Portals.
Yeah. The original sign, veteran. Probably has a couple tricks in
And
his sleeve.
even if he doesn't, I still think they're gonna win. I mean, let's look at the small caps real quick. Oh, the small caps did beat Myth Boosters on. No, Myth Boosters beat small caps on Thinking with Portals, and small caps beat Spherical Squires. So I mean, they played pretty decent. It's been close games for them.
I'm sorry.
Thinking.
Beating the Spherical Squires means nothing.
Yeah, that's a toss out.
Well,
Yeah.
I say
The-
Wow
the
Such
most-
Miners though, beating Myth Boosters and beating FS Ballers is huge, and they're probably going to carry that right into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
this
have to
seems like a
agree with
pretty easy sweep prediction for me,
Yeah, me too.
regardless of whether or not Wow Such plays.
Bob, do you have any input on this?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I think they still got the experience. Like, Blah has been to the Mover Ball before, and he's put up a hell of good numbers all season. And he and Super Saiyans have been clicking really well. So, I mean, if they can hold the fort down, I think J. Martin Bald Outlaw clicked pretty well. It could be 2-1 for small caps. I'll just be that guy again, but
Oh my god.
They've had some momentum at the end of the season.
Yeah.
After they got swept by my team, they kind of pulled it together, beating FS Ballers, tying them, beating Myth Boosters, losing to them by 1, and then sweeping Spherical Squire. So that's good momentum. But it looks like Wow Such Myers really has the talent on Thinking with Portals, so I'm gonna go with them still.
Yeah, I mean their aggregate on Thinking with Portals is 18-2, and those are against 2 playoff teams. So I think that's, no disrespect to small caps, but I think the map is just against them. I think Thinking with Portals is Wow Such Miners probably their best map or close to it, and I think that'll make the difference.
All right.
I think Coys knows what he's talking about. I agree with him very much.
Maybe you haven't talked shit all night. Come on
I've been
now, what's-
sprinkling shit. All right, I haven't been full.
I've
I
been-
need a
focus,
big fat
sprinkle.
turd on the middle of this conversation right now. Tell me who sucks and tell me why they suck.
Okay. Well, I can tell you small craps are gonna get dominated. There's no doubt about that. Who do you want to know about? There's not that many teams to talk craps
All
about.
right, let's talk about the number 1 seed.
Bruno
Mars Ball.
Mars Balls.
Bruno Mars Ball. Okay. Well, let's see here. They have a pretty decent aggregate. But I still think, aside from their adequate defense, that their offense is fucking terrible.
Really?
They got Tyrus now though.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Oh yeah, they got Tyrus. Okay, so it's not as terrible, but it's still kind of bad.
I don't know. They're still bottom third offense of the 6 playoff teams, so it's not completely wrong. But it's not absolutely terrible, but it's not as great as any of the playoff teams right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. They're looking like the number 1 team right now going into playoffs, but I just don't see them making it all the way. I think.
We all know you want to say your team's gonna make it, so just tell us.
Oh.
Just tell us your team's gonna win the fucking Mooper Ball already.
Okay.
We all know it's coming.
Okay, spoilers, guys. Wow, Such Miner's gonna win the Mooper Ball.
There it is. There it is.
I mean, Bruno Mars Balls, the thing about them is they're going to be really prepared, and it's not like they don't have the talent. They have people who have played the game, and they do have some newer people, but in the end of the day, Legman and JG Poole have done an amazing job getting their team ready. You might even see players like Marquis and Viles play to kind of fill in the gaps when they need to, and the fact of the matter is this team knows how to play together, and they're talented, and they're probably going to be the Eastern representative.
Honeybear's just saying that because we knocked them out of playoffs. But anyway.
Anyway, I guess that's it for the number 1 team. Let's talk about the number 2 team.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're really bad.
I think you guys are reeling. You're going to fall to the playoffs right away. I'll be honest. You guys don't have any offense anymore. You're done.
What do you mean
Well,
we
I mean,
don't
you
have any
have-
offense?
Big
You
Swing's
have-
been
you-
terrible
sorry,
recently.
He's
Sorry,
got
you have-
62 caps. What are
Sorry,
you talking about?
you have one
So-
offensive player. That's you need more than one offensive
Trippy's
player.
got 31 caps. I don't understand what you're talking
Ash doesn't
about.
understand that his team has no depth at all.
You guys don't have any depth.
No depth.
You don't need
Oh.
depth in playoffs. What's the problem
No
here?
depth. And it's easy. If someone play how much minutes does fucking Swingin have? He has like a million minutes.
I think he has
Billion.
all minutes.
Meaty, all you need to know is that his caps per minute is 0.18 and yours is 0.16.
350 minutes. That's more than anyone. else in the league.
That's
He also
so
has the
many
highest caps
minutes.
per minute
It's
of all
crazy.
He's got the
players,
highest caps per minute and the highest hold.
Listen,
second
if
highest hold
Swingen
per
didn't
minute.
have the amount of caps
Third
that he
highest.
has with the minutes he's played, he'd be a complete scrub. Right now, he's just a scrub, but he'd be a complete scrub.
You can't just win with one offender, especially when you guys are gonna be playing.
We
Swerg.
have the top offense in the league.
I mean, you guys. The thing is,
Oh.
you guys don't practice.
Definitely
You
not.
haven't practiced this whole season, and so I just don't think you guys are gonna be able to handle whatever team comes at you in the first for your first round.
Let's not forget what map they played on their first round and who they
Swerg.
lost to this week on that map.
Wait. Didn't Rectiles lose to Ball So Hard University on Smart?
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I
remember
think
that.
The
they-
Felix led Ball So Hard University.
Oh my god. So
I think that
Ash,
happened, and I think that's representative of what's gonna happen in the playoffs. Quite honestly.
All I'm gonna say is this: you guys said my team was overrated in the middle of the season, and you guys are saying it now. I know
Yeah.
my team could make it, and I know my team's better than most of yours. So
You don't have the organization. Sorry.
More than anything else, I just wanted to give Felix a shout out. So
There you go.
yeah.
there it is.
6 minutes later.
The teams that really want it are gonna push through.
Ash, it's so simple. You lost the Ball So Hard on Smart. You guys got wrecked. By
We lost by
QPro42.
one cap.
Listen. You guys got wrecked
It doesn't
on Smart.
matter. One cap,
You
two
got-
caps, doesn't matter.
You got
It totally
1 in 1
matters.
million. You guys got wrecked on Smart. Now that's against Ball So Hard. If you play an actual playoff team on Smart, you guys are gonna get fucking destroyed.
All right, we'll
So,
see. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean,
And just to all the folks listening, we're not actually picking on Ash. I truly feel this way. I think they're really gonna get wrecked.
I hate Ash, but it has nothing to do with.
No,
what
it's
my
nothing to do
prediction on
with
this game.
personal.
I want to give Timecat a shout out also, setting the pop record in 1/2. 41 pops.
1 in 41.
1 in
Literally
41.
just spiking whenever possible. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
As Felix put it, Felix said that doesn't tell the whole story because he managed to take out 1 or 2 of us every time he spiked himself.
That's actually a good topic that you brought up, by the way. Thank you for that topic.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about all the teams, we should talk about some All-Star voting. For those of you that don't know, JJ Poole and Nebuchadnezzar are in charge of the All-Star game, East versus West game, and they made a lovely little post about voting for the teams. On the voting forum, you have the thingies for all the players and statistics for each one. Should we go over like all the players, or like how do you
I
want to do
can't
this?
see them anymore because I already voted.
Just the notable players, the ones that we know are gonna get in. Oh, thank you, BigMeaty.
No, great. Here we go.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Wait, all these people were on it? These weren't on my list.
These
All
are
the
the
people in
on the
orange
I think
were
the
on it.
highlighted
All
ones
the
were
all the
final
highlighted
cut.
people are on the ballot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did they leave so many people off?
Because they're bad.
I assume that was like the final cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's stressful to have to vote for 3 out of 15, but 3 out of 8 is a lot more manageable. That being said, Fatball got left off, which is bullshit because he's a god.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
you
a
can write
write-in.
in, but let's be honest, the write-in's not going to win.
The
Like,
write-in
it
is
requires
never gonna
a
win.
crazy amount of coordination,
Yeah.
and it's not going to happen.
Okay. So where should we start? Eastern or West? Let's start
We
with
should
Western
start west.
Conference. Yeah.
Get the
I'm gonna
West
have to
over.
carry this conversation.
offense. Some notable players. We got our lovely boy Mick MC Ride in the house again. LeBron Sir James, All Tiger.
I would like to see All Tiger, LeBron, and Curry, even though he's a dick.
Curry sucks though. I hate Curry. Just kidding. Though. He's adorable. I don't know. I think I like MC Ride. I really like OK Then. I wish O'Snap would have been on here too, but you know it is what it is.
Yeah, I voted for OK Then as well. I also voted
Yeah.
for JC Money.
I actually haven't
Ooh.
voted yet, so we'll see how that goes.
I,
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to say that my vote goes with okay then, Pie Master Race. And JC Money and Mr. MC Ride.
Why are we vote JC Money has 140 minutes on the season compared to some of these other guys?
Because I
But
know
he
he's
got
better
double-
than fucking LeBron and Magikarp and Curry's dick ass.
LeBron
No,
only has 140.
I think I'm gonna give.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give Magikarp a shout out. He has fewer minutes than a lot of people and has about as many caps. Like he's got as many caps as Curry and almost half the minutes.
Yeah, same as JC Money. He's got 22.
And I know that obviously if you play 10 minutes and get 5 caps, you don't deserve being an all-star, but I mean 140 minutes is still a decent cutoff. Especially when you have as many caps as Magikarp does, or LeBron or JC. Honestly, all three of them have very few minutes, but just as many caps as anyone else, and only 6 fewer than McRide and okay then, despite less than half the minutes not less than about half the minutes as MC, and 100 fewer than okay then, 90 fewer.
Yo, I'm like mesmerized. Are you like writing something with like a quill ink?
It sounds like it.
You're like, it's like a little message in a bottle or something. Like, talk again, real quick. I want to hear that again. It was a beautiful sound.
And I was.
It might be fixed now. I unplugged my mic and plugged it back in.
There we go.
No, I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Is it still shitty?
No, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, it happens sometimes. Sorry about that. Was I at least understandable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sounded like you were writing a letter to like your long lost lover of the 1700s.
Yeah, I was writing Magikarp a love letter about his caps per minute.
Wait, speaking of caps per minute, have you guys looked at the Western offense caps per minute?
Yeah, Magikarp's is 0.16.
I mean, no.
Same as yours. LeBron
across
start
the
games,
board,
0.17.
It's low.
it's pretty low, which means West offense sucks.
Or is West defense good? Like you really can't make it.
No, West offense sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
I'm looking here.
Kev Bear's pretty good.
So
on
can I say that
defense,
East
right?
defense sucks because you give up more caps per minute?
No, it's just that the East offense is so dominant that the East defense can't handle it. But they're still awesome.
Okay.
I'm not
This
getting
is the
involved.
trash talk we've been waiting for all night.
Let's move on to
Exciting.
Western Conference defense. So, got a lot of good players here. Kev Bear, formerly
donuts.
Asa Akira, Dude McGuy, Rick O'Shea. I always think they're the same person sometimes because they have the 3-syllable name thing.
Hey, why is Donuts not on here?
Unoriginal, Swerg, Boogie, and Nuts a Ball. Who do you guys think are some standouts here?
I'm gonna
Swerg.
go back to my team again. Talk about Kev Bear. He's I think has the highest cap returns per minute out of anyone or close to it. I don't know anyone on the leaders.
Khaleesi has shit on all of us.
Yeah,
Okay,
Khaleesi
out of the-
shits on.
Yeah, okay, I missed that one. But other than Khaleesi,
Super
he's
Saiyans.
right up there. Yeah, he's at one
Ricochet's is
point.
higher. Come on, dude, do your homework.
I said close to the highest, and so he's got the highest. Those are all
Yeah.
Eastern except for Ricochet.
Yeah, I mean
So
he's probably
Kev-
top 10 for sure.
Yeah. And as far as Western Conference goes, he's I think only behind Ricochet. And has still a lot more returns, which I mean per minute matters, but so do minutes both. Like it's kind of a combo thing. Swerg definitely deserves some love because he's I think played some offense also.
Yeah,
So you gotta
Swerg
remember
deserves
that
some love.
for looking at his defense. That he does play some offense from time to time, and so his defense deserves some love too. Those are the two I'd probably vote for sure. As for next, I don't know. They're all pretty deserving. Tough to say. I'd probably go for Unoriginal because Childhood Spheres had a great defense, and their offense just kind of let them down. And so he probably deserves it if Ralph's not in there. One of them deserves it at least.
Yeah.
I definitely have to go with Kev there because he's the only one that's like, he's the one that kept me going to try and get more returns. He pushed me the whole season.
I
But
think
kudos
Boogie
to
deserves
him.
it too. He had a really good prevent per minute.
Does
Yeah.
he? Let's see. 14?
Yeah,
That's
his
pretty
prevent
good.
was
Yeah.
high.
That's
Yeah.
by far the highest out of any of the All Stars. Next highest is mid 11s. It looks like
In the Western
Yeah, in the
Conference,
West, yeah.
in the West. Sorry, yeah,
In
that's
the
what I meant.
West, guys. Come on now. Yeah, definitely a good choice there. Any others that you guys want to talk about?
Now let's go to the
Foul
East.
got shafted. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, let's go to
I
the
see him on this list, but he's not on the final list, so I feel like I have to say something about it.
Well,
Tis a 2. He played a lot of majors, and he has.
I feel like Mace got shafted to be perfectly
Yeah,
honest.
Mace got
I like
shafted.
Mace, and he's done really well. He's got really good per minute stats, but
Yeah, I think rotation
Whatever.
hurts your
Yeah.
all-stars. You know, it's
Yeah.
just your
That's-
numbers don't look as flashy.
that's what happens when you see. We were trying to have our niche be a good way to compare for the season, but it's not quite what we expected it to be. I don't know.
Well, I
We're gonna
mean-
work on it for next season, see how it goes.
To
Try
the
and make some
East.
tweaks. Hopefully, we can have that as the season analysis stat and not GASP, because GASP is more about a contribution per week.
Yeah, it's all about minutes, I think. A lot
I
of
will
it's
say
minutes.
that GASP tends to even once you get past the 100 and low hundreds mark, I think GASP minutes matter less. I don't know the intimate details, but that's just what it seems like to me. Like in 1 week, obviously, if you have 20 minutes versus 40, you have no chance of having as high of a GASP as someone else unless you do something insane. But in a season, there's plenty of people who are at like 150 minutes, 200 minutes compared to the guys at 300 that are, they're up there.
Definitely. All right. Well,
All right, let's move to the East.
yeah, let's talk Eastern
All right.
Conference offense right now.
Offense, obviously, Big Swinging has to be an all-star. I mean, those numbers are insane, whether you like him or not. He's,
Yeah.
I mean, amazing numbers. Milksteak, right up there. He's still bar none, right next to Big Swinging. There's a couple of guys on the East offense that really shouldn't be there. Most of their caps came in like a couple halves during the season. Like they had like absurd numbers put up in a couple games, which I don't really think that elevates you to an all-star.
Yo, Trippy got shafted. I'm gonna say that right now.
So you still have people
Best
like
support offense I've
BigMeaty and
ever
Ball Don't
seen.
Lie who have been consistent the whole season, and Prism, honestly. I think
Yeah.
those five are really your top all-stars offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Like Franz and Scott had I know Scott had in 2 weeks, weeks 7 and 8, he had 19 caps, and
yeah.
the first 6 weeks he had 13 caps. So
Right. It doesn't elevate you to being like all-star just because you did that.
I think Russia kinda got shafted, just more in the sense that he got a lot of hold just because he was a support offensive player.
Also, he's only played 180 minutes compared to the 200 to 300 that these players have played. So he's not going to have as high of a gasp. But that's, something else entirely.
If you're looking at consistency, it's really those five players I mentioned who really deserve it. Probably J Mart, but he didn't get on the list too.
No, I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. Any other opinions?
Oh, you want my opinion?
Yeah,
it's pretty straightforward, Meaty.
I mean,
Yeah,
we already know.
If I was to pick three,
you're not going to pick Slide because
listen. No. If I was to pick three offense from the East, I'd have to say Big Swingin', Milksteak, and myself.
I thought you hated Swingin'.
I don't hate Swingin'.
I thought you said he sucks.
He does suck. But
so
I don't
then
hate
why
him.
are you having him as an all-star?
Need his numbers.
Because
you can't deny
his
that.
numbers, you can't disagree with his numbers.
I mean, he played the most minutes.
Anybody that looks at the stat sheet is going to see 62, and they're going to be like, okay, so that's obviously a pick. So
he's had the most
Milksteak and
hold
myself.
by a mile, the most caps by a mile, the most support by a mile. It's a great statistical season.
I don't know. I think I would I know it may seem weird, but I kind of want to see a guy like Jehobo maybe get the All-Star, even though he's on a shitty team.
He doesn't. I mean, there's nothing there to support that claim, though.
Jehobo's a scrub. Oh, please.
Well, I mean, it's easy to say that when your team's complete shit.
But I mean, so what are we basing all-stars off of? A player that just played well on a bad team, or someone who was good and elevated their team to a better one?
Yeah, if you look at the Heisman, they only look at players that have carried their team to a championship or something close to it,
Yeah. Ideally, you get someone who is good on a bad team in addition to someone who improved their team, but
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
like our
examples
Scott.
of that really ever happening in like any sports. Like it happens occasionally, but that's because they pick 30 guys or something for baseball or for football or something. They pick way more. So of course you get some of those, but when you're picking 8 people per conference, you're not going to get any of those just because it's kind of biased against it. It's just how it is, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. All right. Last but not least, let's talk about Eastern Conference defense.
Wait, Ash. Did you make your picks for the 3 offenders you picked for these?
I was gonna go exactly what you said. Big swing and no stake in you.
Okay. Aw, thank
Well,
But
he
we
had
still suck,
to
though.
make up for something for you sucking his dick in the mid-season preview.
By the way, that was not scripted at all.
That was
straight
totally,
from the heart.
Yeah, that was totally from the heart. Let's be honest here.
Straight from the heart, dude.
Love you.
All right, defense. Let's finish it up.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we got the return master in Khaleesi. We got the prevent master in Ashmagashma.
I mean,
And
Snowball has a higher prevent per minute than me.
eh.
Snowball?
And
No. Snowball has been carrying Ash all
I will
season.
say this right now.
He
Snowball
has.
is damn good.
Yeah, I mean, he's third in prevent, and he's spent like the last 3 or 4 weeks in
Yeah,
majors.
he's been playing majors, like doing work.
all right.
So Snowball's really good. Like he's really good. Majors caliber.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And let's
I
not
think-
forget that Ash struggled against Balso Hard University.
I only played one half on that, to be fair, but yeah, no, it was my fault. You're absolutely right. I basically lost that game for my team. I'm sorry, I'm bad.
All right. So who's that third person? Is it Chuggles? Is it?
Who is
Chuggles.
all our
It's
three
Chuggles.
people?
Bob, please, it's Chuggles.
I didn't say anything. That was Ball Don't Lie saying
A
Ball.
higher total gasp, please.
Yeah, no, my stats have been terrible. I definitely don't deserve to be up there.
Are we talking about?
Wait.
what about-
I know I've said I wasn't gonna say anything, but if you're going off of highest gasp, like if you're saying that the person with the highest gasp should get the nod,
I don't
then
think we
why?
are.
Well, he said that himself. BigMeaty just said that.
Big
So-
Meaty's dumb.
No,
Okay,
no,
but
no.
I'm
He
just
is dumb.
You
but I'm
said
just saying.
Bob. You said
Let me
Bob
finish.
Loblaw,
Let me finish.
right?
Yes. Let me finish. If you said that, then why do you have yourself as the third offense? If I have a higher gasp than you.
Because it's himself.
Okay, well I'm just saying
Okay,
like you can't use that.
Got
No, guys, no. Let me and Ball don't want to talk about this. All right, so I'm gonna switch back to the stat sheet. All right, one sec. Okay, so if you were to look at these stats right now,
Okay.
Mr. Ball don't lie, you would see that my caps per minute is way fucking higher than yours.
Anybody have any popcorn?
You have 2 more captures than me, but my caps per minute indicates that I am a more efficient offender than you. Now, the difference here is that this is offense against defense, and we're not talking about offense right now. We're talking about defense.
Okay, but I was just going purely off the gasp. That's all.
Well, anyways, since
And,
I got
and also the disparity between the gasps that we're talking about is a little greater on defense than it is on offense.
Well,
That's
guys,
fair.
you know what? Ultimately,
0.05
the-
more than me.
Big Meaty, it's the community's decision where this is going to go. You guys are both good
Oh yeah, no,
offenders.
I don't care.
And-
No.
This
This wasn't
wanted
about
to clear it
about
up.
me versus BigMeaty. I was just using that as an argument for Bob because I don't understand the gasp thing.
Well,
Gas came up first in my comparison because it's the first stats that I see. But I was going to go down the line and say more things. But yeah, his gas
it's
is
not.
higher.
We don't really need to debate 2 different people.
No, definitely not. No.
yeah. Anyways, since Mr. Cruci gave us the time, saying that we're an hour and 8 minutes in, let's keep this rolling.
Yeah, let's get our top 3 picks in. So, who do you guys think it's gonna be? in the East defense?
I think it's gonna be Snowball, Khaleesi, and I'm gonna go off the board and say Raven. I mean, 9.9 DGAS doesn't lie.
Very true. Raven's been really good all season, and I think we haven't talked about him enough yet. But there's a lot of good Eastern Conference defenders here. Every single one of these players, I think, could get the nod, except maybe like 2%. I don't know.
Khaleesi should definitely be there.
Khaleesi has been just dominating, and if she doesn't get it, I don't have faith in this community to recognize talent. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's basically that.
I don't know. I think she's basically a shoo-in at this point. But I mean, if I had to pick a fourth, I'd probably pick Super Sans. I mean, he's played really good for a rookie season. I think it's his rookie season, right?
Yeah, it is. But
yeah, he's got some good numbers in his rookie season. If I was going to pick a fourth,
I can't pick three here. This is really tough.
I can. It's pretty easy.
Right, who's your three?
Obviously, Ash has a 10 gasp. That's undeniable.
Yeah, but I'm
so
trash.
Ash is going to be one of them. Then next, I'd have to go with Khaleesi and Chuggles. That's my three.
I'm gonna go Khaleesi, Chuggles, Snowball, because Snowball's better than me. And
oh my god,
Ash Bellini.
Ash Mussolini.
All right.
Is that everyone?
That's it.
All right, then let's wrap this up, because
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Guys,
Wait,
please,
do we make our
it's only
Mooper Ball
9:15.
predictions? Finish.
It's 1:27 real time.
Can we finish our Mooper Ball predictions?
No one cares
yeah.
about
All right.
Atlantic Standard Time.
Everybody
Bob.
yell out your Mooper Ball winner, winner. I don't care who's in.
Bob,
I want
do
the
I-
winner.
Do I have to neglect bias, or am I?
You can totally be
feel
biased.
free to?
You can be biased
Okay.
as fuck.
All right.
Coys, who's it gonna be?
I'll give two picks. My biased pick that I have to say, because I do believe in my team, despite what I said earlier, is the Balls of Wrath. We're going to take care of business. It's going to be, we got a lot of teams ahead of us, but we're going to take it one round at a time. Wow, that was really cliched. But we're going to get it done, I think.
Versus,
oh shit, I don't know anything about the East, honestly.
Just pick Rectile Dysfunction.
Nah, I'm going to go with I'm just going to go with the chalk pick, Bruno Mars ball. They've had so much success majors and minors, and I don't see why that'll stop. As for unbiased, I think if we don't make it, I think the Merballs will. And obviously, Bruno Mars ball can stay the same.
All right, Meaty, you're next. Who's it gonna be?
Wasatch Miners versus Little Merballs.
And who wins? Well, we already know.
Well, obviously you know.
Yeah. Considering you said no Western team can beat an Eastern team, so.
Thank you.
All right, honeybear.
it's gonna be Little Merballs versus Bruno Mars balls, and Little Merballs are gonna win. The Nooper Mooper Ball.
Bob.
I think it's going to be Balls of Wrath versus Wasatch Miners, and I think Balls of Wrath will win.
Didn't you
Two
predict us to lose in the
seeds.
first round?
Hey, sorry, I've had to make a pick and I'm tired. It's okay.
We're gonna overcome our first round loss to make the Super Bowl.
The loser bracket.
Exactly, man.
I
It's
think you're
just
gonna
a
feel so
topic.
bad about this
Oh
April
my
Fool's
God.
joke. But he's just gonna put us back in, even if we
Well,
lose.
That kind of sums up this night.
Yeah.
Were we
knows what
winning
he's
or just
talking
making the
about.
mover ball? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Bob.
What?
Were we gonna win? Did you predict us to win or just make it?
Oh, I was actually just kidding, and I was going to pick Little Merballs.
Nice save. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. I need another drink.
So who's gonna win the Mooper Ball?
Merballs.
Merballs?
Yep.
Lame.
No, it's not lame at all.
I don't think they're gonna win.
No, me and Bob agree that it's my team. So
You guys are
Here's
sleeper,
what's gonna happen. If
but
we don't lose on Smirk, my team's gonna
you
win.
will.
We're not.
You will.
Because
You
we're going
will.
to kick ass.
Because
No,
you're
you're
going to be playing
not.
against
If-
my team on
if
Smurf,
by
and we're going to
some-
dominate you.
No, you know what? I'm not. No, my team's going to win. That's going to be it. That's it. I'm not even.
Ash, you understand that you're playing my team on Smurf, right?
No, we're not. We're playing FS Ballers on Smirk. Calm yourself.
Yeah. As long as Myth Boosters don't win.
Depending on who wins.
Yeah, if Myth Boosters win, then we play you guys, and then we'll just wreck the shit out of you, me, because your team is trash. But yeah. So
Okay, ball so hard.
we're gonna beat the Balls of Wrath in the Movable Ball. That's my prediction.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess that just about wraps it up. If you've managed to stay this long, congratulations. Take a
You have no life.
Yeah, take a drink with us because you fucking earned it. This was a shit show.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna
the
put
part where
my.
I mentally tuned out was when BigMeaty and Ball Don't Lie started debating. That was when I just was out.
Yes,
Yeah.
our very drunken 1v1 in this chat.
I'm pretty sure that's when we lost everyone.
Yeah.
You like
We lost all 9 of our viewers at
Yeah.
that point.
All right, let's say our goodbyes.
Goodbye.
No,
Bye.
everybody say your name. Fuck you. You guys know how it's done.
I'm honeybear, I think.
All right, next.
I'm the Bob Drunk Pants 18.
I'm big, drunken, polarizing meaty.
I'm
Bye.
coys and sober, but whatever.
And I'm Ash Mussolini. Fucking.
I'm also
God.
Swerg.
Yeah, rest in peace, Swerg. He had to leave so early. He missed
Yeah.
all the fun. Ugh. So,
R.I.P.
from all of us, thanks for surviving this goddamn podcast. We may or may not do this next week. Who knows? But for now,
No.
take it easy.